Now, when we talk about not having agendas or attachments, people immediately go to, well, does that mean I have no passion? Like there's the saying that almost all of you brought up right away, which is to be in the world, but not of the world. So if we're not of the world, but we're in the world, like, does that mean like basically we're just coasting through life? Like we're not of the world. So we're just like, like, does that mean like we've got no goals and we're just kind of sitting there waiting to die kind of thing? Like I'm not of the world. So I'm just here to have, to be in this experience and like, I'm waiting for it to end, and no, like, no, not at all. Right. Your motivation that drives your passions will change. That doesn't mean the intensity of your passion changes. In fact, I would argue that the intensity of your passion increases as you become more conscious and you become more embodied in your own self. So this saying, to be withdrawn from worldly involvement, is not saying do not have passion for your goals. Have goals. Have passion for your goals. But at the same time, don't be attached to outcomes. Have passion for the work. Have passion for the execution. Have passion for the doing. Have passion for the serving. Have passion for the expression of love. Have passion for you expressing in your life, but not attachment to the outcomes of that. Being withdrawn from worldly involvement does not mean not partaking of the world. Especially in our lineage, we are fully in the world. Fully in the world. We are exuberantly participating, exploring, enjoying the world. Explore, have new experiences. If you've never smelled a durian, well, you should smell a durian once in your life. You won't need to smell it more than once in your life. Explore. Participate exuberantly with joy. And that joy comes from not taking in other people's stuff so that you can be fully present to yourself, to your own self, to your own Tao, to your own way, to your own beingness. That is joy. So a key question is to look at where are we putting our energy? Are you putting your energy in other people's dramas and opinions? Are you putting energy in your own attachments? Are you putting energy in your own judgments and opinions? Where are you putting your energy? When we get all wrapped up and we get attached and when we get all wrapped up and wrapped around the axle and we have these emotional attachments, those emotional attachments fundamentally pull our energy away from ourselves, from our greater selves, from our divinity, from our focus, and from our creation in the world. from our becoming. Every emotional attachment that you have is consuming your energy. All the dramas that you indulge in, they all consume your energy. All the opinions that you indulge in, they consume your energy. All the other people's opinions that you allow into your world and that you think about and that you indulge yourself in allowing yourself to disagree with or to agree with or to, they all consume your energy. And all of this takes you away from you. All of this takes you away from joy. I'm sure you know people in your life who are very much full of drama. You know, they're constantly creating drama. They're constantly in drama. They're constantly upset about something. They're constantly, just constantly gyrating over something, and these people, not coincidentally, are very, very ineffective in life. All of their energy is going into chaos. All of their energy is going into their inner chaos. It's a choice. It's telling us, well, that is not the way. That is not the way. So we need to have appropriate goals. We're not saying have no passion for your goals. We're saying have passion and have goals, have appropriate goals, have appropriate places where we are going to direct our energy, because that is our passion, not what someone else tells us should be our passion, but that is our passion that comes from a connection with our greatest self. And we get passionate about our goals. We direct our energy at our goals. We work at our goals. We stay up until 11 o'clock at night. We work at our goals. We strive. We do our meditation. We do our rituals. We pursue our goals, and out of passion, we are exuberantly in the world. We eat the cake and we love the cake, and we're exuberantly in awe of the cake. We smell the durian and we are in awe of the experience of life, that something so horrifying could be in your reality in this moment. Like, oh my God. Wow. What an amazing experience this life is, that something that terrifying could exist. So we, exuberantly in the world, but not sucked in by the world. Firmly rooted in our world, not sucked in by the outer world. So, in a way, you are a hermit. But in a very specific way. You're withdrawn from a lot of the common drama and like the stuff of human life. You're kind of an inner hermit. You carefully manage you carefully and consciously manage yourself, your inner world, your inner resources. But you're a hermit, an inner hermit who is fully in the outer world, fully in the outer world. This is by far the hardest way to do spiritual progression. It's frankly much easier to go be a hermit in a monastery. Much easier. There's a very famous joke or saying, there was this incredibly realized master in Nepal who had lived on a mountain for 20 years, had done all the deepest meditative practices, had been like a god among the gods, like fully deeply realized. People would take arduous pilgrimages to approach the master for a word of wisdom. And at one point, this great master decides to come out into the world and see what's happening. And so he comes down off the mountain and comes into a village, and his first encounter with a person is quite awful. His second encounter is even worse. And by his third encounter, he's headed straight back up to the mountain to fuck this. It's not easy being in the world, but not of the world. It's much easier to be fully withdrawn from the world and living in a monastery, or to be fully in the world and not give a shit, engage in the drama and get plastered every so often, or even often. And, you do all the escape valves, if you're not getting plastered, you're having emotional eruptions and gyrating over someone else's drama. And all of these are ways of avoiding yourself. And they're ways of avoiding your true power, your true being. Ironically, sadly, they are ways of avoiding your true joy. So in our lineage, we walk the middle path. We unite the path of the hermetic and the path of the occultist, and we unite those paths together. The path of the occultist is one who exuberantly enjoys the world and enjoys the smell of the durian and the piece of cake and the carrot. That's the occult. And then the hermetic is, I'm studying, I'm diligent, I'm doing my rituals, I'm doing my meditation, and so we hold both of these in our lineage, and we live from both of these unified together.